Okay, so this is take like what, number 5 or 6, because my brain just doesn't want me to make this video because I'm showing some art that I'm very passionate about, right? And like I'm gonna get made fun of. I'm gonna get made fun of if this gets any attention, is what I presume. So I'm just gonna push past that and tell you what this is and what it means to me. So this is a fantasy map, a fictional landmass called Crescenta. This is meant to represent everything that I care about in life, right? So there's lots of little details that make this a functioning society. There's a public railway that transports goods and services. I mean, goods and people. Good grief. And this helps disabled people. There is what I call a throughway, which is a trail that connects the entire island together. A throughway is basically just a trail. It's a trail. It's very simple. It allows people to get across the land without having to walk on so if you want to get across America by foot, right, you have to walk along the highway, which is very, very, it's kind of unacceptable to me, right? But yeah, the throughways in this fictional map, they go through the next thing I want to talk about, which is nature preserves. An important part of this land is nature preserves. So a big portion of the land is dedicated to simply let nature exist, right? And there's multiple layers to this. Obviously, there's just like base layers of like having designated areas where like if you want to go inside of it, you can, but do not leave trash and such, right? But the thing that I really care about, and the thing that really makes this land important, is the Milky Way. So when we think about light pollution in our real world, it's one of like the biggest tragedies ever. It's like actually fucking breaks my heart so fucking bad that a lot of the people I've actually talked to have never seen the Milky Way, and especially haven't seen the Milky Way in great detail and in color. I think it is actually possible in our modern day to see the Milky Way in color. You just have to go to a very, very dark spot, of which there are not many. If you look at a light pollution map, you can kind of find that out. Actually, yeah, there's one right here. So, yeah, this is a light pollution map. Do you see how it kind of like, do you see like those big glowing hellish cities? Yeah, yeah. Very simple, right? I am very disappointed that we live in a world where turning on a light actually, causes the stars to go away. It's very tragic, right? And it's a perfect example of why like the world is so like so terrible just by nature in a lot of ways. But I'm dedicated to changing that nature as best as possible, right? I'm dedicated to making things better, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to complain at first, but then I'm going to think about solutions, right? And that's kind of like the kind of person I am. I love solutions. But yeah, so we got this central city that focuses on minimizing light pollution, right? As well as these nature preserves, which also do the same, right? So light pollution is a big focus here. So in addition to wildlife preserves, there are also what I call homestead preserves. This concept of homestead preserves is, of course, there's so many arguments as to why it can't be done in real life, but simply, it would ensure that every person has access to a very, very, very small portion of land, preferably just enough, right? Just enough to make a very small home and a very small garden, or I guess, whatever garden size is needed to sustain a person. And so what this does is it enables independence for the people. Argue with me if you need to, but a portion of this land is dedicated so that the people can have a home no matter what.